All right, so you're eyeing up a Brunswick Allenton pool table, huh?
There's just something about that name,
Totally. It screams classic. But before you jump in head first, let's really break down what we've got.
It sounds like a plan.
We're talking product details, a pretty glowing review, even some info from Hallmark Billiards.
Hallmark Billiards, wow. Canada's largest Brunswick dealer, right?
Exactly. By the time we're done with this deep dive, you'll know if the Allenton is worth the investment or not. No question. Ready to get into it.
Absolutely, let's do it.
So full disclosure, Brunswick, as a brand, they've kind of had me hooked since, well, forever.
I hear you. They've got that history, that presence.
Since the 1800s. Can you believe that?
Talk about a legacy.
But we're here for the Allenton specifically, right? So first things first, you've got choices to make.
Oh, yeah, I gotta love options.
7 or 8 feet. Want to make sure it fits your space, obviously.
Important consideration.
Then we're talking finishes.
Espresso, rustic dark brown, driftwood, Toscana even, right?
You really could get lost in the details. They want you to, I think.
And let's be clear, these aren't just like cosmetic afterthought.
Oh, absolutely not.
The Allenton comes in, finishes that could be right at home in some trendy loft downtown.
Or your classic cozy den.
They've really thought about how this table lives in your space.
See, and that's what gets me excited, you know? It's like, are you going full classic ball and claw legs?
Or sleek and modern. I'm kind of partial to the tapered look myself.
And don't even get me started on the cloth options.
So many colors, like picking out paint swatches, honestly.
It's a rabbit hole. But before we get totally lost in the aesthetics.
Right. We got to talk about what's underneath, right?
The guts.
Yeah.
What makes an Allenton an Allenton?
Now you're talking. And this is where it really shines, the heart of the table.
Lay it on me.
They don't mess around with the slate, no, sir. We're talking a full-inch premium grade slate.
Okay, I'm hearing premium slate, but isn't all slate? Well, slate.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But there's a difference, trust me.
All right, I'm all ears.
Brunswick, they go to specific quarries, places known for that super dense, uniform slate.
Interesting. So less chance of a wonky bounce.
Exactly. And that 1-inch thickness, that's your guarantee. That table's going to play true for years, decades even if you're playing, every single day. Heirloom quality, that's what we're talking here.
Heirloom quality, love it. Okay, back to the features for a sec. This 12-step finishing process, that jumped out at me. Is that just like a fancy way of saying they put a coat of paint on or what?
Oh, no, they mean it. 12 steps. Remember, Brunswick, they've been doing this for ages.
They've had time to perfect it, that's for sure.
They have. Their finishing process, it's about making the wood look amazing, but it's also about making it last. You spill a drink, you get a scratch, key strikes happen. This finish, it can handle it.
It's like armor for your table. I like it.
It is. And you know what else they mentioned? Dovetail joinery.
Dovetail. Now, I know a dovetail cookie when I see one, but on a pool table, what's the deal there?
Another good catch. This is old school woodworking, but it's a good sign.
How so?
Instead of just using nails or screws, you've got these interlocking joints. That's dovetail joinery. Makes it crazy sturdy.
So it's not going to wobble around after a few games.
Exactly. Imagine puzzle pieces, but for strength. This thing is built to be rock solid for generations. No wobbles here.
Generations.
Yeah.
That's a selling point right there. And speaking of which, that review we found, they were gushing about the cushions. Pneumatically controlled, they said?
Yeah, that caught my eye too. Sounds fancy.
But what does it actually mean when you're playing?
Imagine this. You nail that perfect bank shot. The cue ball just glides across the slate, kisses the rail, and boom, comes back with just the right amount of zip.
Okay, that visual, I like it.
That's those pneumatic cushions at work. They use compressed air, makes the rebound super consistent.
So you're not dealing with dead spots on the table.
Exactly. No unpredictable bounces, no surprises, just pure playability.
Gotta love that. And hey, those reviewers we mentioned, they weren't just geeking out about the performance.
Oh no, they are floored by the looks. Timeless elegance, sophisticated leisure, those were their words.
And you know what? They're right.
It's true. This table is easy on the eyes.
But here's the thing. How does the Allenton actually stack up against other, top-tier tables out there? We've been throwing around heirloom quality like it's going out of style, but what does that even mean in the real world?
You're right to ask. Value's a big deal.
Huge, especially when you're talking about an investment like this.
Remember Hallmark Billiards? They've got quite the lineup, including Allhausen.
Oh yeah, another big name in the pool table world.
Exactly. So having both Brunswick and Allhausen under one roof, that tells us something about where the Allenton sits in the grand scheme of things.
Interesting. So what are we talking about here? Like a friendly rivalry between brands.
You could say that. Allhausen, they're known for that meticulous, handcrafted feel, intricate designs, like true works of art, some of them.
And Hallmark, they're having that sale right now, right? Those awesome autumn offers.
Don't forget that discount on the Brunswick Glenwood.
See, they're tempting us. They know what they're doing.
A discerning buyer like you. But in all seriousness, seeing both brands together gives you a good sense of their strengths.
Okay, so we're agreed. Top-tier brands, both of them. But what sets them apart? Like, if you had to pick between a comparable Allhausen and the Allenton, what would make you choose one over the other?
That's the million-dollar question. Okay, so picture this. Allhausen, they're like the bespoke tailor of pool tables. Everything's custom, intricate details, real showstoppers.
I mean, Allenton.
The Allenton, that's
Yeah.
classic Brunswick. Understated elegance. It's the kind of table that commands respect without being flashy, for someone who appreciates that timeless design, that enduring quality.
So it's about finding the table that matches your vibe.
Precisely. Your style, your personality.
I like that. But let's get down to brass tacks for a sec.
Yeah.
We've established Hallmark's the biggest Brunswick dealer in Canada, but what's the advantage for someone who's seriously considering the Allenton?
Oh, that's huge. Buying from an authorized dealer like Hallmark, especially for a table of this caliber, it's crucial.
Break it down for me.
First of all, peace of mind. Remember that whole leveling thing we talked about?
Yeah, sounds like a precise job.
Exactly. You don't want just anyone handling that. Hallmark, they've got those expert installers. They make sure it's perfect, protects your investment, and guarantees you're getting that top-notch playing experience right from the get-go.
So no DIY projects with this bad boy.
No, unless you're a professional yourself.
Good point. But what about, like, down the line? What if you need service or something goes wrong, warranty stuff?
That's another area where Hallmark shines. Factory-trained technicians, they know these tables inside and out.
None of that. I think I saw this once in a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Exactly. And as an authorized dealer, they're your direct line to Brunswick if anything major comes up. You're not stuck calling some random customer service line. You've got a whole team there to support you.
That personalized service goes a long way, especially with a purchase like this.
Absolutely. You're not just buying a table, you're buying into a whole experience.
So we've talked craftsmanship, we've talked design, the competitive landscape, even the dealer experience.
It's about the big picture.
It really is. But at the end of the day, it's about you and what you want in a pool table.
It's what matters most to you, right?
Exactly. So any last words of wisdom for our listeners as they're mulling this over? It's a big decision.
It is, but I think the Allenton has got serious potential, that's for sure.
Definitely a strong contender. Makes me think, though, it's not just about finding the right pool table. It's about finding the right pool table for you,
100%. And that's what makes this whole process so exciting.
It is. It's personal. So let's say, hypothetically, you bring the Allenton home. We've been talking about it like it's this heirloom piece, this legacy thing.
Because it is. It's built to last, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta imagine.
Paint me a picture. What does that actually look like?
Years from now, it's not just a pool table, right? It's where you had family game night, where rivalries were born.
Oh, those epic battles.
Exactly. Maybe even a few trick shots perfected over time.
Generations of trick shots. I love it.
That table, all those little dings, all that history, it becomes part of your story, your family's story.
It's like instead of a photo album, you've got this pool table holding all those memories.
Exactly.
I can get behind that. But the practical side of me, and maybe some of our listeners too, they're thinking, okay, heirloom, legacy, that's great. But how's this compared to like other investments I could be making?
The age-old question. And it's a good one. We're conditioned to think about investments in a very specific way, right?
Yeah.
Dollar signs, all that.
Yeah, bottom line, ROI.
But what about investing in experiences? In things that bring people together? That's what the Allenton offers, It's that potential for connection, for making memories that last.
It blurs the lines a bit, doesn't it?
Totally. Because it is a financial investment, for sure. But it's also an investment in creating a legacy, something with real meaning.
Wow. So much to think about. Okay, wrapping things up here. If you're looking for a pool table that's more than just a game, more than just a piece of furniture, something that can become a part of your story, the Brunswick Allenton, it deserves a serious look.
Absolutely.
And hey, if you're ready to take the plunge, you know where to go. Hallmark Billiards, those awesome autumn offers, they're calling your name, might just find your dream pool table waiting for you.
Good luck. Let me know how it goes.
Happy shooting, everyone. And thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll catch you next time. All right, so you're eyeing up a Brunswick Allenton pool table, huh?
There's just something